Welcome to another Daily Draft Logs. This is episode 6. We're looking at a Kaldheim Premier Draft I did a little while ago, or kind of early in the format here. Let's see what we did. This deck went 4 and 3. Arena is not showing first picks, so we don't get to see the whole pack for just this first pick, but we took Morit of the Frost, which I think is a very, very reasonable first pick. Card's super powerful. Blue-green's great. Snow is great. Copying something and putting 2 1/1 counters on it is great. So this is probably a fairly easy first pick, and we snapped it up here. Let's look at pack 2. So nice follow-up here. Bunch of nice follow-ups here. We could take the blue-green dual land. We could take Spirit of the Alderguard as another snow card that's going to help us find our lands and splash, which I think is the pick here. But man, we've got Yaramir Lake we could wheel. We've got Replicating Ring we could wheel and want to play. We've got Shimmerdrift Veil that we would take here. So a lot of good cards for us. I think we just take Spirit as the best of them. I could see an argument to just taking the land, though, and making sure that, we're starting off with good mana. Getting your snow land count high is pretty important if you're going to try and do the snow thing. So there's an argument there, but I think Spirit is just a better card. And let's see what we did. Okay, we took the land. Again, like I said, I think this is close, but this would not be close if we had not started with more. And if this was pick 1, pack 1, definitely take the Spirit. But because we have a good blue-green uncommon we want to play, I could see this being correct, but I still, even then, I think the Spirit is where you want to be. All right, pick 3. So we could just pick up another Snowland here. There's nothing really crazy good in this pack. There's a Mistwalker, there's a Lindworm. These are cards that we would be happy to play. But this is one of those spots where you could just sort of pick up a Snowland when there's nothing really jumping off the page and try to get your Snowland count up, try to wheel some good payoffs. I think that's what I would do here. This would be, much better if it was a duel. The snow duels are much more desirable than the untapped ones, generally speaking. But if I wasn't going to take the Snowland, I would take the Mistwalker. But I think we take the Snowland here, and we did. All right, next pack. We don't really want to take Snow Mountain. The blue and green ones are much more desirable. We'd rather get our red sources off of dual lands, so I think we just take Demon Bolt here as just a really, really good card that we're going to want to splash. And, there's maybe an argument for Sculptor of Winter, but this is not, the important piece of the snow deck. It's just kind of a nice reward for being there. The real reason to be in snow is that you can splash cards like Demon Bolt and get your good snow payoffs going, like Avalanche Caller and Icebind Pillar and stuff like that, and Bergstrider. So I would take Demon Bolt here. I would take Sculptor. Really not a pick I would want to make. So, if we're looking at ways we could have improved this draft to do a little bit better than 4-3. 4-3 is pretty good, but do a little bit better than 4-3. I think taking Demon Bolt would be the way we would want to go there. All right, next pick here. I think this is a pretty clear Elven Bow. Whenever you're in snow, just sort of keep an eye on that last spot of the pack and see if the lands are flowing. The lands are not flowing pick 5, which is a slight bit of a concern. If there was a playable Snowland here, we would just snap it up, I think, because we've kind of priced ourselves in with Sculptor and we want to sort of be doing that thing, but something to keep an eye out for. But because we're not seeing that, we don't have a ton of snow yet. It's too early to take a card like Priest of the Haunted Edge. We also don't have a black source yet, so this is a card we would be looking to wheel. We're not gonna, force snow by taking, a medium payoff when we don't know that we're going to be able to play it. So I think this pack comes down to struggle for Skemfar versus Elven Bow, and I think we're just taking Elven Bow as just a really rock solid 3-drop that has great late game potential as well. And we took that here. All right, sweet. Next pack. Okay, so we can grab a double off-color Snow Duel, which kind of makes sense to me. I mean, you know, if we are trying to do the 5 color thing, there's nothing like really, really crazy good in this pack. There's a Feed the Serpent, which of course is excellent, but we don't even have one black source yet. Never mind being able to have two. Um, yeah, you know what though? I think I would still just take it. There's a chance that like we don't end up playing blue, and we end up black green or something, or we just pick up enough fixing that we can make feed happen in make fetch happen, make feed happen in the snow deck. So I think I would take feed here. I took the dual land. Yeah, I mean, you know, we want to be able to splash whatever good stuff we pick up. So that makes sense to me, but I think I might have been a little bit too blinders on. We're going to take all the snow duels and just force it kind of thing here. And that may have come to bite me at the end. We'll find out. Okay. Next pack. Kind of getting into yikes territory here where we're not really seeing anything in green or blue. You know, we're seeing some good like red cards, I guess. Doomscar Titan Squash. This pack's kind of weak overall, but, you know, concerning that we're not seeing green and blue. We're just going to pick up the Snowland here. This is a perfect spot to take a Snowland when there's just nothing that we really want in the pack. So we're going to take that. Yep. And pick 8. Sigh of Relief here. We see an Augury Raven that we can grab. And I think we just kind of have to. Over snow-covered plains, this is like the least desirable Snowland. You want, you know, duels to be giving you your white sources because there's almost no reason in white to play snow cards. So I think we just take Augury Raven as a solid playable, and that's what we did. We're going to wheel Guardian Gladewalker. It's a totally reasonable 2-drop to put in your deck. Not super powerful or anything, but we just need, excuse me, we just need playables. So grab that here. Wheel Mistwalker. That feels real good. And then we'll snap up this Priest on the wheel now that we have a swamp. Our Snowland count is not amazing, but at 4. But, you know, if we can pick up 4 more over the course of the draft, which shouldn't be too hard to do with 2 packs to go, Priest will be a good role player in our deck. And kind of just round out the pack with whatever. Last pick Skull Raid might make it for us, so that's not bad to see. All right, and pack 2. So let's see where we stand here. We've got 4 Snowlands. One of them's a tapped duel that I think we would play. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish creatures, which is good. No real great snow payoffs yet. So we're looking for good snow payoffs, and just, I guess, just hoping that they show up, right? So here we probably want to take either Replicating Ring or Glittering Frost. Glittering Frost is excellent with our Sculptor of Winter because we stick it on a land. It makes our land snow, which boosts our Priest. And then we can untap that land and get double mana out of it. So I think I like that more than Replicating Ring because of the built-in synergy we have in our deck. But I could also see an argument for just taking Lindworm here as just like a rock-solid playable. Gain 4 when it comes down. Like, it's, you know... this is just a huge problem for your opponents. And then copying it with Morit is just the icing on the cake. So it's kind of a tough pick. I think, honestly, I think I would lean towards Lindworm at this point in the format, just kind of knowing where the format's at, and knowing that a lot of people are trying to play snow. They're going to be taking your lands. They're going to be taking your payoffs. Just having a solid sort of core of cards, and then, you know, we've got, you know, Sculptor and a handful of lands. Okay, that might work some of the time. It's not really a great example. But, you know, we've got something like, you know, Priest and 5 or 6 lands in the deck. Sure, this might, you know, nab a 2-drop some of the time, and it'll block for you for a bit. That's close enough to being good that you would want to rock that. Or like, you know, Bergstrider is a great example. We've got 4 or 5 Snowlands in the deck and a Bergstrider. Cool. A lot of it's a 5-drop, so a lot of the time when it comes down, we're going to be spending snow on it, be able to get them. And it, you know, worst case scenario, we don't have a Snowland, it's still fine. You know, you're not broken by that. So, anyways, I think all that being said, I would take Lindworm. We took Frost for the reasons I'd mentioned before, and I think that makes sense. But just something to note that I think the format has sort of turned a corner in terms of the strain on the snow archetype at the table. That I don't know that not forcing, but like putting all your eggs in the mana fixing snow land basket is the most effective plan. So pick 2. Okay, here's a bit of a trap. So we've got Ascendant Spirit here, which looks dope, but I mean, if you look at the snow requirement on this thing, like I don't know how many snow lands you need to be running to reliably be activating the 4 mana activation on this, and then they can just demon bolt it in response or whatever, and you're just out so much mana. Be really careful with this card. I don't think you take it here. I think you just take either Ice Tunnel to just keep the snow train going and splash our black cards, or Grizzled Outrider to just actually have like a big creature in the deck to copy with Morit, and just this card is just actually totally fine and solid. I think those are one of the 2 cards I would take. I'm sure we took the rare, and we did, and I'm sure it performed like okay for us, but I don't recall ever getting this to become a 4/4 flyer, to be fair. So, you know, for what it's worth. Tap Snow Duel, but it's not on color for us. So this is where it gets kind of awkward. It's like we don't really have enough payoffs. I guess given that we took the Spirit, we're really wanting to take this, but this kind of hamstrings us because we have to take this over like real cards like Depart the Realm, Rune of Flight, Frostbite. But now we're really feeling like we have to, you know, take a tapped off-color dual land to make this deck work, and I think this is the trap that you can fall into in Snow. So, you know, if I was in this spot again and I had made this pick, hopefully I would just sort of be like, okay, maybe we don't play Ascendant Spirit. That's okay. How can we make what we have work? And I think the best way to make what we have work is to just take, probably just take Rune of Flight, or Frostbite is reasonable as well because we can splash it off of Glittering Frost. But this may not look like it, but I feel like we're kind of approaching maybe a little bit of train wreck territory. So I think we just want to stay solid to our good core, which is not really that good, but this sort of vein of blue and green cards that I'm sort of hovering over is where we want to sort of stick to. So it's also a Masked Vandal in the pack, which is totally playable as well. So I think I would probably just land on Rune of Flight, all things considered, just to, our strongest color is blue, just sort of stay with that and make sure that our deck, you know, is functioning. And that is what we took. Nice. Okay. So there you go. And here we'll just probably snap up a Raven over an Inga, although I've talked about Inga being better than it looks a bunch of the time. But yeah, I think here you just take Raven, have a good flyer, copy it with Morit, hit them for 5. It's pretty sweet. That's what we took. Pick 5. Get another look at Glittering Frost, Replicating Ring. So again, if we're going to take either of these cards, it's going to be Glittering Frost for the synergies that we had mentioned before. There's also just a Mistwalker in this pack, or even like an Arnie Slays the Troll, which might not really seem like it fits, but maybe we could splash it. I don't know if we have the mana base to really do that with only one Glittering Frost. So I guess we're kind of priced into just taking Glittering Frost here over Mistwalker. We want to be able to play Spirit. We want to hopefully splash some stuff. But again, we're kind of in a spot where our mana base is not really letting us pick up these cards that we want to be able to splash in the 5-color deck, because we don't have a good enough mana base yet. So we have to take fixing over splash cards and hope to pick up some splash cards in pack 3, which is oftentimes going to be too late. But I think Glittering Frost is an okay pickup here, and that's what we took. All right, here we'll just take Volatile Fjord. It's going to let us play any red cards that we open. It's going to let us play the Spirit. It's going to help our Priest, which 17 lands thinks is going the sideboard, but I'm pretty sure we do actually want to play that main. This is a good, it's an on-colored Snow dual land. I think we take it here over Grizzled Outrider, but I'm really missing that Lindworm pick. I think that would really make me feel good about taking a land here if we'd taken, and I think we took the Sinkhole over the Worm, but the Worm would just be great in this deck. If you just think about this deck as a blue-green mid-range deck that might be splashing some stuff, the Worm is just excellent. But if your blinders on thinking, we have to be 5-color snow, we have to be 5-color snow, then you're kind of just missing an opportunity to just draft a solid deck that's going to do some work here. Double Raven, Morit to copy them, Morit to copy Lindworm, decent curve, ramp up to Lindworm. It's just a fine deck that way. So we take the Fjord here, all that being said. And moving on, we'll pick up a Snow Island here to make Spirit work. And that makes sense to me. There's nothing else in this pack. All right. Also, not having too many tapped snow sources is a good thing as well, so that you can actually cast your spells and you're not constantly a turn behind. Shimmerdrift Veil here should have been the pick. I think it's really important to be able to fix your mana. I know we're not super multicolor, but being able to make sure we have double blue for Morit, making sure we were able to cast Priest on 2. This is a big mispick in my opinion. I should have taken Veil here, and wish I did. Maybe I would have won an extra game. I don't know. All right, here, Bind the Monster. We don't really have any life gain, so that's a little bit scary. But we also don't really have any removal, so I can see the need for that there. But I also like Pilfering Hawk a good amount. And we do have the snow sources to support it at this point. If this card sits around long enough, you're going to get a lot of value out of it. So I think I would take the Hawk here, but I understand the need for interaction, and I can see taking Bind. Another situation where if we'd taken that feed in pack 1, we wouldn't be in this spot, and we'd still have a reasonable chance of playing it because we don't necessarily need to run Snowfield Sinkhole. So kind of just the ripple effects, looking at the ripple effects of different picks and how they're affecting us at this point in the draft is interesting to check out. All right. See, and then we could have had a blue-black duel, and then we would have been fine. Of course, we don't know what we're going to see, but just sort of looking back and seeing what those picks would have been like. So, pick up the dual land for sure. Here, I think I would take Masked Vandal. This is a card that was not on my radar at the time I did this draft, but solid 2-drop. 1/3 is not a great stat line, but we do have a Brine Barrow Intruder. We got a Priest of the Haunted Edge that's going to end up in our graveyard. It's not too hard to get a creature in your graveyard and then sniping their Saga or their good equipment or their rare god artifact thing. There's some good juicy targets for this, and it leaves behind a changeling body. Is pretty sweet. So I would definitely take Masked Vandal here over Mists, which is just a card I'm not interested in playing at all. And here we're pretty low on creatures, so I can see why we wanted to take Mentor. So where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A little low on creatures, but I would take Arnie Slays the Troll, I think. We still don't have... Oh yeah, we do have a Volatile Fjord, so we've got a... Now, here we go again. If we'd taken that Shimmerdrift Veil, we would have 2 sources of red in our mana base plus double Glittering Frost. Really makes this splashable. This is a very powerful card, and this is exactly the kind of card that you want to be wheeling at this point and taking because you can splash it as a 5-color deck. So this is a huge oversight, but also a bit of a ripple effect, because I probably looked at my mana base and said, we only got 1 red source, and we're a little bit light on creatures, and maybe that was a tiebreaker for me, but this is definitely what we should have picked up. Depart the Realm, nice pickup. Doesn't matter. All right, pack 3. Okay, so I gave it away already here. So we took Icehide Troll. Solid card. There was a lot of hype around this card at the time, as well as I recall, so that's probably why I snapped it up. We needed creatures. We needed 3-drops. This card is fine. Double snow, even in a snow-heavy deck, is just tapping 2 of your lands is a lot. So sometimes this is just going to sit around and not really do anything, because even, you can attack and threaten to do it, and they won't be able to block or whatever, but, then if they do block or something, then you have to commit the mana, and that means you don't get to do anything else for the turn. So I'm not saying this card is bad, but it's fine. It's a nice reward for being heavy snow. So I like taking it here, but I also think that taking Frostbite might have been correct. Now, again, this is a ripple effect of not taking that Shimmerdrift Veil. Same reason we didn't take Arnie Slays the Troll. But like taking a Frostbite in this deck would be real nice. We need the interaction pretty badly. All we have right now is Bind the Monster and like Mists. So again, just something to be aware of. But yeah, I don't mind Ice High Troll. It's just a solid creature in the deck. Pick 2. Yeah, like Multiverse here. Solid card. There's another Feed the Serpent we could grab as well. Double black's a little bit tough for us with just the one black dual and then the one Snow Swamp. But I could see an argument for that. But I mean, you can never really go wrong with taking Behold. All right, pick 3. Let's have a look at this pack. So there's a Frost Augur here. I don't know what our snow count is. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're probably just playing all of these at this point. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so I mean, we've got a ton of snow stuff. So this could be the right spot to pick up Frost Augur, but it's still just kind of a 1 mana 1/2 that just sits there and doesn't necessarily do anything. Like if we got 14 snow things in a 40 card deck, that's less than 50% to hit. So if we're spending mana on using this, which we're not always going to be able to do, we're not going to be activating it every turn. So is it going to draw us 1 card before it dies? Is it going to draw us 2? Like, maybe that'd be great if it drew it 2. But like, or we could just take 6 mana 6/6 gain 4 life and just kill our opponent. And that's kind of I think what I'd be inclined to do. Try to wheel the Augur, take it from people who don't have the support. It's just they're gonna have to pass it because they don't have the support for it. We get to wheel it. I think we just take the Lindworm here and keep it simple. And we took the Augur, so I would have taken the Worm, I think. Alrighty, and here's a nice little pack for us. We could take Demon Bolt or Frostbite or Horizon Seeker, which is a solid card, helps you fix and all the rest of that. But man, we just need removal real badly, and I'd be on Demon Bolt here, and again, wish we'd taken that Shimmerdrift Veil. So we felt pressure to take Horizon Seeker as a creature that can sort of help us fix. But I think we're missing a real opportunity to play red this draft, which would have upped the power level of our deck. We could have had an Arnie Fights the Troll. We could have had a Demon Bolt. We could have had a Frostbite in the earlier bit of this pack. And I think the power level of our deck would have been much higher. Could have had a Worm. Could have had 2 Worms. Man. So interesting to go back and see this stuff. Kind of nothing pack for us here. We could take Way Down. We still need interaction since we keep passing all of these red removal spells. So I guess I'd be on Way Down here. Gemfar Elderhall. Yeah, this is I don't know what I was thinking. Double black. I mean, we've passed all these double black cards, and that have actually been reasonable. Like we've passed 2 Feed the Serpents. I don't know. You really can't play these uncommon lands unless you're dedicated to the color pair that they are. So if this was the blue-green one, absolutely would snap it up. But I don't like this pick either. I would take Way Down here, I think. And here we have a choice between Struggle for Skemfar, Blizzard Brawl, or just another Snow Duel, or a Mistwalker, or a Sculptor. There's a lot of stuff we want in this pack. Again, we're pretty hungry for interaction. You need 3 snow permanents for this to really pop off. It's going to be tight. Like, we might some of the time, we might not some of the time, but I think you just take it as an interactive spell and hope to wheel Sculptor or something and put that in your deck. Oh, we took Sculptor here. So again, just, passing on interaction is probably going to bite us in some games where our opponent gets out to a faster start than us because our deck is not very proactive and fast. It's kind of just chilling, kind of setting up its mana base, trying to play some Ravens and some Moritz. And as you can see, our top end is not really coming together in a compelling way either. We don't have an insane late game. So some of the weaknesses of this deck just showing themselves. Ooh, nice Boreal Outrider we get to pick up here. We would love to take this red-green duel, but since we passed all the good red cards, we don't need it. So we'll take Boreal Outrider, and that actually is going to let us, make some 4/4 Ravens and maybe copy it with Morit and make some 5/5 Ravens or something. So this is a sweet pickup for us, and we recognized that and snapped it up. And then here's a pick 8 Path to the World Tree, which I don't think you'll be seeing any more these days, but we would take this. We've got double Glittering Frost, so we can activate it with some amount of consistency, and it'll help us fix, hit our land drops, all that good stuff. But as you can see, maybe we didn't go far enough in the direction of the multicolor stuff, passing those red cards. We would have been able to play them all. And I think there was good reason to take them when we passed them, even though we didn't know we were going to see Path or whatever. So we take Skull Raid here, which is, I don't even know if that's going to make our deck, but I would have taken Path. So again, take Path. It's a really good card. Pick 9. Just a bunch of nothing. Sure, we'll take a tap dual land. Actually, we could have taken Way Down here, and we probably should have. We really need interaction, and we don't have any. So, and we want to play black. We've got the priest. We've got a Skull Raid or whatever. We could play a Way Down in this deck. Herald, sure. You know what though? I think probably Coma's Faithful or the Snow Swamp would be a better choice here. Just having lifelink to keep you in the game is pretty nice. And like putting flying on that, putting the bow on it is quite nice. Copying it even with Morit if we had to, like a 5/3 lifelink is pretty good. I think the Faithful's got enough going on, and our deck is kind of slow and weak enough that we really are going to miss the life gain that this would provide. Nice late pickup here at the Lindworm. That's kind of a draft saver. Again, a Frostbite we could have had. We take Kai's Onslaught for Vault Progress because we are not set up to play red, even though we could have been. And finally, we'll grab a Way Down and then a Snow Duel. So this draft rounded out pretty nicely for us, but I think we had a real opportunity to have a more powerful deck. And it looks like we left the Way Down in the sideboard. I would be trying to play that, given that our only interaction is Bind the Monster and Depart Mists. Like these cards are not super, super good, and I think we probably dropped some games to just not being able to answer a good threat from the opponent or just getting run over early. Now, that being said, we still went 4-3. This deck has powerful cards in it, but I'm just seeing a lot of ways where it could have turned out a little bit better for us. So that's the draft. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like for me to review a draft of yours, just post the link in the comments if you're using 17 lands or something like that. Or you can post it in my Discord, which is also in the description. Or you can reach me at twitch.tv/alromusic. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.